You are listening to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Shamaya Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Shamaya Reed.
Hey, welcome to I Am Refocused Radio. We are here once again, and today, man, we have another true honor. We have a returning guest, Miss Danielle Gulley. She is the owner and founder of Perpetualinnovations, and she is presenting The King. It is an amazing Christmas play production that you do not want to miss, San Antonio. And today is a special day because we have a full house on the show. We have multiple guests. We have Deance Wyatt, we have Paul Cockfield, and we have Patrice Owens. So, Miss Danielle, welcome to the show. How are you doing, first of all?
Thank you so much for having me back. I am amazing, extremely busy working on this show, but it is an exciting time.
And this, I've been watching on social media. I can't keep up. I'm trying to do my interviews. I'm trying to peek at what you're doing. It's like, man, they are moving fast. You got so many behind the scenes stuff. You have some big celebrities coming in too for this play. But most and foremost, you have so important people that I like for you to do the honors. Tell the audience, who are we talking to today?
Well, we're talking to some past and present cast members and coordinators. I'm really honored to have my dance coordinator, Patrice Owens, here with me. This is her first time working with me on the production. My buddy here, Mr. Paul Cockfield, who is my music coordinator and also my music director assistant. And he's been with me, oh my gosh, for a number of years, but definitely with this show since we did it in San Antonio 2 years ago. And on the line, we also have my buddy, Deance Wyatt out of Atlanta, Georgia. So it's just really great to have. And Deance is playing the character of Grinch. Again, he's been with this show since I wrote it in 2018 in Maryland. And we've been rolling together ever since.
So I want to start ladies first. Patrice, Ms. Owens, tell us a little bit about yourself. And Danielle kind of gave a little summary, but kind of explain to the audience what is your role and part of this project.
Okay, so I'm originally from California. I actually moved to San Antonio about 3 years ago. And I actually came across the audition via Facebook. I had joined a theater group, and she had posted like, oh, keep a lookout, like I have something coming up. And then I happened to see the audition post, and I came out and auditioned to be a dancer. I was really nervous, but I had fun because I do choreograph, so it was pretty simple. They gave us the Grinch track, and I just did my little thing on it, and I auditioned. I just did my little thing, you know. And they were like, "Oh, like, did you choreograph that?" And then she actually called me and asked if I would assist with choreographing, and I was like, "What? That's even more than I could have imagined contributing to this production." So I was super excited to be a part of it.
And this is a big project. This
is not just anything. Yeah. Yes, exactly. So like when I got off the phone, I was like, I was telling everybody, like, look, you know this? Like, look at this. I was just like, I'm going to be a part of this. So I was super excited.
And with the process so far, what has been your favorite part just behind the scenes in the production mode?
Well, as you know, with any theater production, there's multiple things going on at once. So right now we're just like diving into the music and just like planning. But I'm super excited just to see how it all comes together. Exactly. So yeah.
And man, let's slide to Paul, Mr. Carfield, man. You the music genius of this project. Yeah, man. You can take that, man. Yeah, the music genius of this project, man. Tell us your role and what's some of the things that you're responsible in doing for this show to happen.
So let me back up. 2 years ago, I want to say, I was in the hot seat, and Danielle gave me the opportunity, took a chance. I had never done a play, MD to play, so I got the chance to do, kind of score some music for the play, run, be over the band, do those type of things. So it really opened my mind to another side of music. And so this year, I get to team up with a wonderful guy, Steve Johnson. I believe he's from Ohio. And so we're kind of collaborating on the arrangements. I mean, he's really crazy at creating the ambiance for scenes. And I mean, he's a great producer. himself. So just teaming up with him, an awesome band, Rob Cockfield, Deidre Kendry, Alan Golden Jr. So just
that's a good list right there.
Yeah. Just teaming up with those guys. This is going to be an awesome play. I thought 2 years ago was phenomenal. So this is like that on steroids. And so, I'm just excited just to be a part and learn. This is a learning experience for me. It's an opportunity for me to grow and expand my borders musically. So, yes, sir.
And once again, man, you just now tuning in, I Am Refocused Radio. We are talking to Danielle Gulley and the whole crew right now of some of the major players in the play. But I want to talk to Mr. Wyatt. You're calling in all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. So first, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be on this interview, man. Tell us, what can people expect you being the Grinch, man? That's an intense role, man.
Yeah, man, it is, but it's a lot of fun, and what they should expect from the Grinch is pure entertainment from every level of and spectrum of the word. Grinch is, in his own right, is going to take this audience through a journey, and they're gonna laugh, they're gonna cry from just all his antics and things, but they're gonna fall in love more importantly with the story and the Grinch's role and finding himself and the way that she brings these characters together, and the story is just amazing. Danielle is an amazing creative and writer. And it just it's amazing to be a part of this. I've been with her since she wrote it, and it's been fun, and it's elevated every time. So I didn't think it could get much better than the last time, but somehow, some way, she did it again. And I think this go around, we added some pieces. She's added even more layers to the dynamic of the show, and I feel like the audience is going to thoroughly enjoy it on another level. I think they're going to be surprised with what they see and what they experience with us on December 4th. But it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a joy. It's going to be the talk of the town. People are going to remember it. We're going to have to do more and more and more.
And like you just said, Deance just mentioned, it is December 4th. That's the Saturday, 7:30 p.m. But Danielle, back to you. You are the founder and owner of Perpetualinnovations, and you're presenting The King, a theatrical production. This is not just any order like Christmas play. This is a Christmas play that's going to have mad talent that's from San Antonio.
Right.
And you also have people outside San Antonio. I'll let you do honors, the special too that everyone knows right now. How special is it for you to put San Antonio on the map like this?
It's really major. Excuse me. It's an exciting time, especially for the culture, especially for the arts, and for individuals like Patrice, like Paul, like Grace, Kurt, individuals that are main characters or just any characters in this production, to be able to work with the caliber of people. I'm honored to be working with David and Tamala Mann with this production. They have wholeheartedly embraced this production. And I look at, excuse me, I look at Deance really being on that same level. He's behind the scenes a lot, but when I tell you, he's just an amazing overall talent from a writer, director,
his resume
actor. It's lengthy. And so to be able to put our individuals that have dreamed and hoped and wished for an opportunity like this on the stage, or even in rehearsals behind the scenes, working with these individuals and being able to pull information from them and pull just a nugget and to absorb just a little bit of what they have to offer. I love the fact that David and Tamala and Deance are so willing and open to share their talents and gifts and knowledge with the individuals in the cast. They're going to come in and feel like they've been a part of the cast ever since we've been rehearsing, because that's just the type of character that they have. We've already worked with them previously on some pre-production work, and the chemistry is absolutely amazing. So to be able to, like I said, bring David and Tamala to a production, and Deance and my music director out of Ohio, who I've worked with since I was 18, be able to bring him in and collaborate. He and Paul have worked together previously on another show that I've done. Just building those relationships. We talked about that the last show that we did together, the significance and importance of building solid relationships and being able to open doors for other people. And I'm just expecting somebody to just blow up from this show.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of blowing up, man, I got to swing over to Deance because I got to do it justice, man. People who don't know what you have done. I mean, to be part of this play, Danielle gets the best of the best. She doesn't play when it comes to your A game. So you have mad talent, but you also have like we mentioned moments ago, a very impressive resume. What can you share with the audience some of the things that you've been able to do with your career? Because I think that's important.
Oh, man. Well, thank you for that first and foremost. But it's my journey has been amazing in this industry. I've had the opportunity to be on stage, do TV shows, movies, and now work behind the scenes. One of the biggest projects or films, per se, that I've done is a movie called Freedom Riders. It starred two-time Oscar winner Hilary Swank, Patrick Dempsey, Imelda Staunton, R&B singer Mario. Like, the list goes on who was a part of that movie. But that was a really big thing in my career. I've done TV shows on the Disney Channel, CBS back in the day. And I've taken my talents to the theater, and I actually did a play and a tour with Danielle back in 2008, 2009. So this relationship has been in place for a long time, and we shared the stage together. And she was getting down with the acting and singing and everything, and to see her journey is amazing. And then currently, I'm actually on set filming. I'm an associate producer at Tyler Perry Studios. So I did decide to take my talents behind the scenes. But, you know, you can never get away from the acting. Acting is my first love. It's my first passion. And then I developed the love for behind the scenes, and I've been doing that for the last 7 to 8 years. And so now I'm here in Atlanta, staying busy. Mr. Perry keeps us very busy with kicking out content and TV shows and movies and plays with him. So to get the opportunity to grace the stage again, I'm always for it. And then when Danielle calls, it's an automatic yes for me, just because I know what she brings to the table. I know her work ethic. I know the dynamic. I know her passion. I know her talent. So it's really, truly an honor to be a part of such an amazing show and an amazing cast. And then now I get to share the stage with family members, with David and Tam, because I've worked with them on the other side here in Atlanta. And so to be on the stage with them and the rest of the cast in San Antonio, we about to blow San Antonio off the roof. You know, we about to do some things there. So I'm just truly excited. I'm truly excited for the opportunity to meet this cast and all the players and the ensemble and the dancers. It's going to be a joy, and it's just another mark that I can add to a resume that's only been graced by God. I think all my gifts and talents is all from the man above, and I just try to utilize it in every capacity that I can. And I'm definitely somebody who's big on, you know, dreaming big and dreaming bigger. Never putting a cap on your abilities and your gifts, and if you can expand and showcase them in every avenue, then why not do it? So that's where I stand on that. But yeah, thank you.
I mean, that right there is fire from Beyonce. I mean, the fact that you have that mindset, and the fact that you not just take on the credit, you are painting the picture of what it means when you, like Daniel was saying earlier, building relationships and having these good relationships. So back Absolutely. To you, Danielle, how important was it for you to having the challenge of picking the talent for this project? Because some people probably like, oh man, I wish I could have done it. But how hard was it for you to choose who's going to actually have a role in this play?
It was difficult. I think the most difficult part for me is when you find and you have so many talented people and they all want to be a part and they have given you their life stories. Like, man, I've always wanted to do this my entire life and this is my opportunity. And for some reason, you may not pick them. That's the hardest part. I think, not picking the people that really, really want to do it, but this opportunity just might not be for them at this time. But being able to pick the people that I selected, I mean, it was a hands down easy for me because they came through. It was like, no, they owned it. They owned that audition. They owned their character. And when I first wrote this show, going back to the very beginning, 2018, Deance was the first person I thought of for Grinch because like he had stated before, we worked together in 2008, 2009. And the role that he played, I was just like, I need somebody that could truly, truly embody this character and blow this stage up. And there was no other person in my mind except for Deance. And I called him, and it had been years since we had communicated. And I had no idea he had moved from California to Atlanta. And just so happened, it worked out. And he's been a part of the show since its inception. And then with David and Tamala, I had, when I wrote this show, I always thought David and Tam should be in the show. But we didn't have the opportunity to work together at that time. And just, timing is everything. Timing is everything. So being able to now go full circle and, really have the cast that you've always desired is unbelievable. And then God saw fit to have something else happen in this cast that I could have never seen. I have a guy named Kurt who is playing the character of Scrooge, and he has special needs. He's in a wheelchair. And the one thing about him, he came in, he auditioned, and he owned that character of Scrooge. There was no doubt that this guy was the absolute best person that auditioned that day for that character. And to open the doors up to give him the character that he earned and give him the opportunity to be on stage, which is his passion. He's a theater major. He's been doing theater locally for a long time. And just to be able to give him that opportunity, because like he's even stated, it doesn't come often, and sometimes you're restricted because of your disabilities, and people don't give you that opportunity. And I really pondered and I thought on this, you have to adjust your stage, you have to do different things to accommodate. But it was like, why not? Why not? And so just the opportunity, hearing the different stories from the individuals that I'm working with and how it's impacted their individual lives being a part of this production and how it's restored so many different things in them. It's nothing but God. So I'm just grateful that he's using me to bless people's lives in whatever way he sees fit.
And once again, listen to I Am Refocused Radio. And this, the posters, the social media, all that looks nice.
Thank you.
But that's all we see as an audience, though. We don't see the blood, sweat, and tears behind the scenes. We don't see the oops and the hard conversations, right?
Right.
So I'm gonna have your two guests in studio because Mr. Wyatt did his thing, but I'm gonna have Paul and Miss Owens kind of chime in. How is it like working for Danielle? I know you're in the hot seat, but I'm just saying, how is it like? How tough is it to be working for something has to be done with excellence?
Honestly, my experience with Danielle, she's cool as a cucumber.
We haven't really started yet. We haven't really started yet.
But I feel like I'm like more like panicky than you are, and I feel like, okay, I need to follow her lead. Like she's chill. She's like,
it's a safe space.
You know what I mean? No, honestly, like she's been super nice and just like, but like she said, we haven't gotten to the meat of it.
You got the warm up.
So yeah, but yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to take it off.
Well, how about you, man?
I'll say check your feelings at the door.
I like it.
I think that when you work with Danielle, you have to know, and I go through this in my life sometimes. When you're working with people, sometimes they don't always see the big picture. So I think the most important thing that you can do when working with her is come open and be willing to trust her, because she knows what she's talking about. And it may not make sense, but she sees all the pieces. So you have to be willing to adjust, be willing to pivot at any moment, and you have to make time. Time is important because it takes time to get the show right. One of the things that I've had the pleasure to do over the last few months is to work on the music. Let's take the last song, for instance. We did a version of it last year, and then she came to the table and she was like, listen, I don't really like that, this version anymore, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We got to come up with something else. And, she threw out an idea. She's like, I hear this Coming to America, African drums, right. What the heck does that mean? So
it's a process.
Absolutely. But to be in a room sitting with her and Kayla and just kind of creating, listening to her talk about the vision of what she wants the scene to look like, and then putting music to that. And so I was listening to a interview from this producer named No ID, and one of the things he said is nobody has time to come back to the table later. And True. So one of the things he was saying is you always have to be prepared to do what you need to do in the moment. And I appreciate the opportunity, to not only learn, but to be in the hot seat so that you can grow at the same time. So it's kind of like on-the-job training.
Me and Danielle kind of talked before, and she wanted me to slide that question in there just to make sure y'all were good. But y'all passed that, fine. But all seriousness, Danielle, when we had you before, we touched on how it's important to lead, too, because you can't wear every single hat.
Right. You
got to delegate tasks to everybody. How do you even do that? Because that in itself, just thinking about it, is stressful.
Well, the overarching approvals, of course, those will come through me. But at the same time, you have to put people in positions that you trust to do their job. So I can't, I couldn't have hired a Grinch, and talk with him and said, hey, I want you to, do this part. But I felt like he couldn't do it.
You have to teach him how to be one.
Yeah, I can't go through all of that. You have to be able to have a certain level of talent and, for me to be able to trust you with that. Same like wardrobe director, like Paul, talking about the long hours and the wee hours of the morning that we've been working together on this music. But Paul will leave and go home. And by the time I wake up in the morning, I have a completed song with some extra flavor on it. It's like he's now dialing and tapping into my mind. Mm-hmm. So because we're building that relationship, we're really building that great chemistry. It's very organic. It really is. What made me pick Patrice, even though she came in as a dancer, was the task was choreograph a dance to the song that we've given you. I needed to know that whoever was listening to that music could visualize the collaboration of actors on stage at the same time and tell a story through dance, through the song. And she was able to do that. I know that she listened to that song. I know that because all of her movements had everything to do with the words that we're saying. She was the only person that came in and done that. And so I felt like I can work with her because she has the vision already of what it is that I want, what it is that I'm seeking this production to be and to be larger. Again, it's really, really big on putting people in position that are skilled and talented and bosses in their own right and trusting them in those areas and them in return trusting me, like Paul said, my vision and what I see and making that all come together. I value their input.
And once again, listen to I Am Refocused Radio. Time flies by when you're having fun, but we are still talking to Danielle and the whole amazing crew that she handpicked for today. So y'all on this interview is because she handpicked it. So shout out to everyone in this room and also Mr. Wyatt, all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, taking time in his busy schedule to talk to us. Before we wrap up, we are excited. San Antonio is excited. All right, the King.
Yes.
I'm telling you, the King. The play, the Christmas play, it's going to be lit. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be inspiring. It's going to have a positive message. It's going to bring people together and promote unity. Number one, December 4th, 7:30 p.m. It's a Saturday. Tell us, how can people get tickets, man? Because we did the early bird. Now we in the main prime time.
And let me just say, y'all showed out for the early bird tickets. Y'all weren't playing. Like, seriously, this has been a record for my business. I've been in business 15 years with Perpetualinnovations, and I've been absolutely floored with the response for this show. I know that it's definitely going to bless people. People are really going to be shocked. Like Deance said, it's taking the production value up a notch. You can get tickets on Eventbrite. So you can go to www.theking2021.eventbrite.com. If you're local and you just want to go pick up tickets, you can go to Macedonia Baptist Church, Artistry of Hair, Antioch Baptist Church, and you can always go to my website and see any of those venues, which is www.daniellegulley.com. And really quickly, I want to say thank you to our sponsors, Macedonia Baptist Church, All Sports, Bebe McClendon, Glow Music, Sound Design, 3KP, Now Word, Covenant Church, Wisdom Pumps, New Creation Christian Fellowship, B Properties, and Love Soul Marketing. Thank you guys so much.
And that is it for this amazing episode of I Am Refocused Radio. I want to say thank you to all our listeners. And like we say on every single show, keep God first, stay focused, and peace.